MRecktv. You called Jim Jones Detective Jones, and you said Jim Jones pretty much set up his best friends on a wiretap.
That's what it looked like to me.
50 Cent bringing Jim Jones on stage during the time when Dipset wasn't seen eye to eye.
Yeah, I was there.
You was there?
Yeah, I was there.
Yo, big shout out to MRecktv. This your boy Christopher Williams, and I have some exciting news for you. MRecktv we're presenting Ladies Night Out. That's like Friday, January 31st. That's right, Ladies Night Out at the La Familia Soundstage in Baltimore, Maryland. This is a night you don't want to miss. It's going to be some amazing female performance, comedy, music, and your boy C-Dub will be there performing live. It's going to be an amazing event. Tickets are going fast. Like I said, January 31st, Friday, 2025, Baltimore, Maryland, La Familia Soundstage. Great words of my brother, Big Daddy Kane. Don't meet me there, beat me there. It's going to be a great night. Peace. Bless.
Make sure you get your tickets now on eventbrite.com.
You called Jim Jones Detective Jones, and you said Jim Jones pretty much set up his best friends on a wiretap.
That's what it looked like to me.
50 Cent bringing Jim Jones on stage during the time when Dipset wasn't seen eye to eye.
Yeah, I was there.
You was there?
Yeah, I was there. When I told Jim I didn't want to deal with him no more, he was just like, I'm gonna make it hard for you to survive. Meaning you ain't getting no record deals. I'm finna scare everybody out of working with you. So Khaled was supposed to sign me. Me and Cam just had like a misunderstanding of each other. He did certain things. Like one time he was in a studio, which made me feel like he didn't like me.
I got a special guest in the building with me. Jha Jha, what's happening?
What's happening, M.Reck? Thank you for having me on your show. How you doing today?
I'm great, and you're welcome, and thank you for pulling up for me. You know,
it's
what I mean?
All love, nothing but love.
It's nothing but love. How you feeling?
I'm feeling great. I'm feeling blessed. I'm happy, positive. It's a little cold where I'm at, but other than that, it's all good. Got the heat on, so I can't trip.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Where you at right now?
Right now, I'm in Atlanta, northern Georgia.
No doubt. How long you been out there?
I moved to Atlanta after I got off probation, 2019.
Okay. Wow. I want to go into all that. You know what I mean? Your situation with that. But let's go to the beginning. Where are you originally from, Jha Jha?
Originally, I'm from Miami, Florida. Opelika, to be exact.
Okay. Now, how long you been doing music, first and foremost?
I've been doing music since I was like 6 years old.
And it was always rap?
No. So, my first love is like R&B.
Oh, wow.
I can write R&B very well, but I'm not an R&B singer like a Beyonce. I would never take, something like that. Those are like real singers, K. Michelle, Eric Bellinger, Usher, people like that. They really sing. I know how to write R&B records, and then also used to like to dance. So those are my first two loves, and then I incorporated, rapping. Probably I was 8 years old.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Are you still doing R&B?
Yeah, I write. I do rap, pop, rock, R&B. I'm very musical, eclectic. That's what I like to call it.
Got you. So, what was your first like real experience in the music industry?
My first real experience, I think I was like in high school. So we had a talent show, and these like local record execs came to like the talent show to like scout me. Then they had approached me about a record deal, but of course I was like too young, so I had to go through my mom. Moon was there. Had to go through my mom, and she was like very skeptical, about the music industry. She was like, "Nah, I don't know about all this," but she would let me go to the studio sometimes. I cut some records. I actually met Rick Ross when I was still in high school. He actually invited us to his house so we could do like a freestyle session. So he lived in Scott Lake.
Did you go?
Yeah, I went in. Like we was just because he was called the Teflon Don. And it was me, guy, a friend of mine named Charlie and his sister Crystal. We used to rap all together. We all lived like in the same area. We was just walking home from school, and
Mm.
we seen his truck, and we just knocked on the door, and he was like, "Yeah, I got this company. I rap. Yeah, I rap. Come in." So I rap for him. He was like, "Yeah, you a superstar. You got it." You know what I'm saying? And I met him again when he had did the Hustling record, and he remembered me, gave me a hug, and he was like, "You made it. I thought you was." So
Mm.
it's crazy. I seen him at the Radio One show, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then it was like all love or whatever.
So with that situation, you just went in the studio, freestyle form, and
With Rick Ross.
yeah, with Rick Ross.
Nah, he had a house out in
Mhm.
in
Whoa,
Sky
house.
Lake. It wasn't. Nah, we seen he. You know how they had like the promo vans.
Mm-hmm.
So he had like this I think it was a Tahoe or something with rims, but it had his face on it. And it
Mm.
had Teflon Don. So we knew that it was a rapper. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? So we knocked on his door, and he let us literally in his house, like in Sky Lake. Yeah.
That's crazy. So potentially you could have been with Maybach Music, you know what I mean? If all the stars would align, you know what I mean, at that time or whatever. I know that was before um, him forming his own group and everything, getting his label deal and all that. But that's ill. I didn't even know that. This is breaking news to me.
Yeah, like it was I was around. It's another guy named Mr. Charlie. He rapped, and I had did this song with him, Yo Ho My Ho Yo Man, something like that. But I was like so young that I shouldn't even really be singing the lyrics. But
Mm,
I just knew how to rap so well or whatever. And they was all connected into like the group, the slip and slide era and things of that nature.
got you. Now, how do you get well, did you come to New York? Like, how do you get down with Birdgang and Jim Jones and all that? Let's get to that. Like, how do you find your way to that situation?
So okay, we got to clarify something, MReck.
Okay.
So I wasn't with Birdgang
Oh,
first.
okay.
Um, I came to New York. I was in college. I graduated high school early. Went to college early, so I was like a early sophomore. We was on summer break, and I had been, looking online and things like that for like the record labels. So I had printed like all of the record labels. You see what I'm saying? That was in New York. So I was like,
Mhm.
okay, this summer I'm gonna save my money up. I'm gonna go to New York and look around. So when I graduate college, I know, you know what I mean? Because it was always in my mind, like once I graduate college, for whatever reason, I wanted to be a rapper. So I get to New York and I go visit my family, my Aunt Gert and my cousin Diane. They stayed at Hempstead, Long Island. So my first day going to look for a record deal or going to, look at the record companies, I meet this guy named Big Joe. He happens to be Cameron and Jewel's manager at the time.
Mhm.
So I had a distinctive look. I had an afro at the time.
Mm,
And he walks by and he's like, "Who you? Like, what you do?"
mhm,
And I'm like, at the time my name was Styles. So I'm like, "My name's Styles, I rap."
mhm,
He was like, "You rap?" And I'm like, "Yeah." So he's like, "I'm Big Joe. I manage Cameron and Jewels. Matter of fact, we looking for artists. Take
mm,
you upstairs to the office. If we
mhm.
like you, we gonna sign you. If we don't, you gotta go." So I'm like, I bet, no problem. So I have my CD and I'm upstairs. They got me in Dame Dash and Jay-Z office.
Mm,
It just happens to be the day that Jewels is releasing his album. He has his album release party. So I
wow.
see Young Gunners, I see Jewels walking, I see Jim walk by, I see Dame. I don't see Jay-Z, but I
Mm,
see all of them, what I'm saying, walking by. Joe is walking in and out of the office. So long story short, he comes to me and he say, "Not gonna be able to listen to it up here because we gotta go to this album release party.
mhm,
Come with us if you want." And I'm listening to it in the car. So we get downstairs. He's driving this green Escalade. Jewels pulls up on the side of the car on his truck, got
mhm,
the spinning rims or whatever. He's in like a white Z. Jim jumps in the back seat. They got my record called Itchy Itchy Ya Ya I did playing.
mm.
Jewels like, "Yo, who that is?" And he like, "That's her." So Jim like, "That's her?" He's like, yeah. He's like, where you from? I'm like, I'm from Miami. He's like, Joe, you gonna let us sign her? And Joe's like, nigga, if y'all got y'all money right. So I'm like, I'm not no street artist. Like I do pop music. You see what I'm saying? So Jim is like, we already got the streets. We need that pop sound. You see what I'm saying? So, long story short, we go to Joel's album listening party. Cam is there. He introduced me to Cam. But Cam, no, he just see, like, we just see each other for the first time. So anyway, Joe, keeps inviting me to the studios. Joel's to do the record, Itchy Itchy Ya Ya. They like that shit is hard. Then I'm in Joel's studio again, and I do this record called Get From Round Me. My producer Hannon at the time, and I'm like, Joel's, I got this record. Would you get on it? So he like, hell yeah, that shit hard. So he gets on the record. Cam walks in as we doing playback. Cam like, that record go crazy, Jha. I'm putting that on the Diplomatic Immunity 2 album. Save me 8 bars. After that, he does the record. Next thing you know, I get a call from Joe. Joe's like, Cam wants you to come down to the studio. They doing a photo shoot. He wants you to get in the photo shoot. I get in the photo shoot. They take the picture. Next thing you know, I come back to the Def Jam. I see my face on the bus, the tour bus. It's Cam, Jewels, Freaky Zeke, Jim, Hellrell, JR, 40 Cal, and myself. And we go on the road or whatever. So then Duke started putting me on the Dipset mixtapes and all of that. So how Jim comes into play as far as with the Birdgang thing, it was Cam's Purple Haze. It was Cam Purple Haze album. We was on tour. Jim comes up to me. He's like, yo, Jha, that record you did on Diplomatic Immunity 2 is like one of the craziest records on that album. I need you to do one for me for my album. So I'm like, all right, no problem. So we were in Virginia, and I called the producer who does Get From Around Me. I called him up and I'm like, yo, I need another record. I need you to make me another beat. Can you meet me in the hotel? So he comes to my hotel. We literally make the record in 15 minutes. Get back to New York. What You've Been Drinking On is what I'm referring to. I get back to New York. I lay the record down. I give it to Jim. I put the hook and the verse on it. Give it to Jim. He like, this go crazy. At first, he was trying to get T.I. on the record. But then they went to Miami for Memorial Weekend. They went to Miami and left me at my Gert house. So I guess he was like playing the record for Puff. Next thing you know, I get a phone call. And he's like, I know I told you that I couldn't really deal with you or put no effort behind you because I don't want to be in the middle of the Cam and Joe, them like me getting you hot and then they take the credit for it. But fuck it, it is what it is, because Puff is on the record. Puff, I got him on the record. We got to shoot a video. So now, you see what I'm saying, it's Birdgang. So in my mind, I'm like, I thought we was all a team. You see what I'm saying? I didn't know it was a division thing. I just thought I was writing records for people. You know what I mean? Like it's a team effort. So pretty much that's how like I got the whole Birdgang title with Jim, because he just jumped behind, you know what I mean? Once when Puff was like, where's the girl at? He was like, that's my artist.
Wow.
So that's when he started putting more effort. But originally, Jim was not trying to push me at all. He was trying to push Max, and he had like other artists because they was like all his. He wouldn't have had to share. You know what I mean? Like with me, he knew that Cam and Big Joe at the time was going to have to be somewhere involved in my contract.
Wow. Now, it was something you mentioned I wanted to ask you when you brought up Rick Ross. With everything that's going on, before we get too deep, with everything that's going on with this whole Donald Trump inauguration and all that, with Rick Ross, Nelly, and Soldier Boy getting backlash, what's your thoughts on that, being that you kind of got a relationship with Rick Ross, so to speak?
Well, why you think that they should have to get backlash because they decided to participate in a historical event?
No, I'm not saying that. This is what's going on. Like they getting a lot of backlash from people in general for them performing at the inauguration.
But that's why I feel also with people like, why would would you want to give them backlash if they decided to participate in a historical event, regardless if it's Donald Trump or
Mhm.
a Democrat, you know what I mean, or whatever? It's still a historical event. You're at a presidential inauguration. That's big. You know
Facts.
what I'm saying? So it's like, um, I don't give them any backlash for that. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm.
I would want to go to a presidential inauguration too. It doesn't matter if it's a Democrat or Republican. How many times can you say that you would have an opportunity like that?
Correct. 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 So when you saw all this online, because I'm pretty sure you saw it over the last few days, with people saying what they saying about Ross and Soldier Boy and Nelly and all that, you know,
I
how
bet you
would
if
you
they got invited to the presidential inauguration, they going too. So I don't care what like. You get a chance to go to the White House or the inauguration and all that, you going. Like, I'm going. I don't care who it is. I want to see. Take a picture in front of the house.
Mm, no doubt. No doubt. I had to ask that because that's currently on the landscape. Now we're gonna get back to Jim Jones pretty much positioning himself as, I guess, your executive producer or label head, just so I guess Puff was trying to sign you, or he had interest. Let's just say that Puff had interest, and then
So
Cameron
the
had interest.
so yeah, Cam, like I said, I was brought to Cam first via Big Joe, but it was a disconnect between that situation because Big Joe was in the middle of it, and you know, it was some things that he wasn't doing right either. You see what I'm saying? So that's what kind of made me and Cam not work with each other the way we were supposed to, way we should have, you know what I mean, in the beginning. As far as Puff, Jim wasn't trying to push my records to Puff either. What happened was, he don't like, they came back and told me the story. Remember I told you they left me in New York when they went to Miami.
Correct.
So Jim was trying to push Max. He was playing Puff all Max records for the Harlem Diary of the Summer. The engineer, guy named Melly, not Mel Matrix, but it was
Mhm.
another guy that was working with us at the time named Melly. Um, he was like, "You forgot what record? You forgot the Jha Jha record, the What You Been Drinking On record." So he like, "Oh yeah, play it." So he plays it. Puff goes crazy, like,
Mm.
"Nigga, that's what you should have played me first. Who that is?" And he's like, "Oh, that's Jha Jha, my artist." He was like, "Where's she at? That's go get her. Like,
Mm.
that's that sound you need. That's a hit." So that's when he was like, "Oh yeah, that's my artist." Da 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 da. So he just jumped on it because it was an opportunity. But like
Mm.
I said from the jump, he wasn't trying to push. You know what I mean? He wasn't like fully behind me. He knew I could write records, and he was using me to, help him make his album better. But that was never the plan for me to be a part of, like, the Birdgang label.
Mm. And what year was that exactly? You remember?
What You Been Drinking On came out 2005. So I met Cam in 2003, or
Mm.
like it was like the end of 2003, like in the middle, because I went back to Tallahassee. Like I said, I was only in New York visiting for summer break. So when I went back, Big Joe calls and he's like, "Where you at?" And I'm like, back in school."
Mm.
He's like, "Nah, nah, nah, you need to come back to New York." I'm like, "I can't come back to New York. I'm in school." He's like, "Nah, I'm gonna pay for you to go to school up here. You could do school, you could do music.
Mm.
But you need to be back, here." So I'm like, "Well, I have to talk to my parents about this because, I'm in school, I'm in college. Like, this is the dream that they have for me." So I go tell my parents, um, "Mom and Dad, I'm dropping out of college in Tallahassee so I can go to New York and be a rapper." And they're like, "Girl, are you crazy? Like, no, you can wait, at least wait till you're 21. Like, you still 19. Like, you still a kid. No." So anyways, against their better judgment, I went to New York in hopes of still being able to go to college. I get to New York, I call Joe, and I'm like, "Okay, here's how much it's gonna cost for me to go to New York University." He's like, "Oh, I don't have no money to pay for you to go to college. You don't need to go to college. You need to be up here and focus on the music." I'm like, "What?
Wow.
You told me I just left my whole apartment You know what I mean? Like, he's like, well, you can stay with me. And I'm like, what? So my family is like, you're not staying with him. You can come stay with us. You don't even know this guy for real. You can do your music. We'll work on the whole college thing. So I never really finished college because, you know what I'm saying, of that. But the plan was for me to go finish college and do music. But yeah, that was crazy.
What you think was Big Joe intentions overall?
Mm, if you ever met Big Joe?
Yeah, I know him.
I just think he lie a lot sometimes. You know what I mean? I don't think he's necessarily a bad guy. I feel like once he seen that I was the type of person that I was, um, he took me more serious. But by that, it was a lot that had to go into that. You know what I'm saying? I definitely think that he told a big ass lie that was very impactful to my life.
Mm,
Because I don't think I would have went to New York if you would have not made me think that you were gonna pay for me to go to college. I think he's a fast talker. He talks, you know what I mean? He say a lot of things that aren't accurate, but he he made Cam some money. You know what I mean? He was intimidating with certain people or whatever. So um the reviews are mixed when it comes to me with that. I definitely think that he played Russian roulette with my he was a part of playing Russian roulette with my life.
damn.
He over there with Jim with how I like see people.
Wow. Now, I gotta ask you this because you put this information out. Do you think he was trying to manipulate you, like on some like "come stay with me"? Like he
Uh,
had other intentions?
I can't. Maybe not. You know what I'm saying? I definitely don't think that I was going to stay with him.
Hmm.
Um, like I said, like I consider my Aunt Gert and Diane to be like guardian angels
Mm,
because if it wasn't for them, I really don't know what I would have done because I was so afraid to like be a failure in my family's eyes. You know what I'm saying? So I really stayed up there to like thug it out. You know what I mean? I was like, I can't go back home. I lost too much. Like I can't go back home and be like, I'm a failure. I gotta make it.
mm.
So
Got you. Now, what area was that? Was you staying in? Was that Harlem? Was that
well
Manhattan?
with my Aunt Gertner,
Yeah.
no, it was a nice house. It was a 5 bedroom house in Hempstead, New York, in Long
Oh,
Island.
Long Island. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Now, Long Island, that's a little trip from going from Long Island to Harlem or, just to the city. That's a little trip,
I I
so
had I had to catch 2 buses and 2 trains, I think. I had to
dang.
catch the N11 to the N6 to the F train to the E train. It was crazy.
Wow, you was doing all that.
It was like a 2 hour drive. It was like a 2 hour commute.
Mm,
And I went to the city like every day.
damn, every day. And from what
My aunt
time?
Gert had to buy me the city passes.
Correct.
My aunt Gert would buy me like city passes so I could have like all unlimited rides and stuff like that.
Got you. Now, from what time of the day was you going to the city and coming back to Long Island?
Man, it would be I would probably go like maybe because you have to get there. They would probably be in the studio like around probably like 8, 6, some stuff like that. So I would leave probably like 4, 3 and get there. But I wouldn't be come home till like 5 o'clock in the morning, like 6 o'clock. It would be like because the studio would be like all night.
Hell yeah. I know
So
that process. Hell yeah. You was grinding for real.
yeah, I was a studio labby. I don't like to say a studio rat because I don't like the name rat, but
Correct.
I was very hungry.
Mm. So when you was going to the studio, about how many songs was you doing or what was you doing at the studio at that time?
So I would get like the leftover studio time. What happens is like Jim them will come in, they'll lay their records and they'll probably like go to a club or something like that. So while they're at the club, I'm in the studio. I'm getting all that extra time. So say they need to go to the club like 12 o'clock and the session is over with, they'll get a 12-hour block. So if it's from 6 to 6,
Mhm.
I get them last 4 hours, 5 hours.
Mm. Mm.
And then I would just write. I probably do like 2 songs an hour with the
Oh,
rough mix.
wow. Wow. So you was definitely getting in at least 2-3 songs a session.
Easy. I
Mm.
probably say like 4 or 5.
Mm. Mm. Going hard. Going hard.
Yeah.
Now, how long before everything started going to the next level? You coming to the studio, knocking these records out. How did that conversation go? I guess with you and Jim at the time, in terms of you being, I guess, under his brand, so to speak.
So it wasn't really he knew that he would have to like always involve Cam and Big Joe. It was like kind of, you really wasn't gonna kind of get away from that when it came to me. Now what he was thinking, maybe a different story, but me, I'm a loyal person. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? So in some shape or form, regardless, even if I was, because I don't think I was really dealing with Joe too much once I got, well, because Jim and Joe didn't like each other. That's
Oh,
a big thing.
wow.
So once I got, like, Jim took me under his wing, the relationship with me and Joe pretty much depleted. But nevertheless, he was the reason why I met Cam and I met Jim. So anything that I would have gotten from my first deal, I would have, gave him a percentage of it. And of course, I would have had to include Cam because I was saying Dipset First Lady / Birdgang. It was never a Birdgang deal only
Mm.
with me and Jim. Um, Jim offered me one contract, which was like after I did the record, we did the video, and it wasn't a very good contract. It was like he owned my name, my likeness, 10 years, um, no money, all my publishing. It was crazy.
Wow.
So I had to turn the deal down. And I remember I had called Yandy. And I'm like, Yandy, why y'all playing with me? Like, wasting my time. She like, what you talking about? I'm like, man, Jim sent that contract over. And she was like, I know, but she's acting like she didn't know what it said. I'm like, bro, it's nothing in this contract that would make anybody want to sign it. So I guess she relays the message to Jim. He calls me and he's like, meet me at Mr. Child. We need to talk. So I guess he thought by him taking me to Mr. Child's, that would change my mind. But he could have took me to Popeyes and I would have gave him the same answer. Like, this is a no-go. Like, it's a
Mm.
terrible contract. When we were sitting in Mr. Child, he just like, do you think Cam? I looked at my first contract when Cam gave it to me to sign, and I'm like, no. He was like, what about, do you think Jewel's, Hellrell, and them looked at their contracts? And I'm like, no. He was like, okay, so why you looking at me like your contract? I'm like, because I don't know you. It's a
Mm.
business. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't come all the way up here for this. What's up? So we played like Ring Around the Rosie, for a little while. But, after the situation with Stacks happening, that was a wrap.
Now, what situation is that? Him dying, or you talking about?
When Stacks passed away.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now,
that was a
before
wrap.
you go there, not to cut your wisdom. How long before Stacks dying that did you and Stacks have like a strong relationship? Because I heard you speak on him, in some situation. What was your relationship like, you and Stack Bundles?
We were really close because we share like similar situations in the music industry. You know what
Mm.
I'm saying? I didn't know him until he came around Jim. Like, Stacks was like the last addition to Birdgang with Jim. You see what I'm saying? He had Max. Of course, I was already with Dipset, but then it was me, and then Stacks came with the that Hustler's poem album or something like that. That's
Mm.
when he wrote Ballin'. So, he would we would go on the road together, take us on the road. Stacks just had like a great, bright personality. You know what I mean? And he was very respectful, and we just like confided in each other, about the little fuckery Jim was doing. You know what I'm saying? Max too, like everybody would just like complain, you know what I
Mm.
mean? But we just created like a brother and sister, you know what I mean? Like vibe, like I remember Jim would have like 20 people, 20 dudes in one room. And he would come to, it was him, Melly, and I think what's the other dude name? It's a light skinned heavy set guy. He works with Trey Songz. I forget his name, but we were all cool. And they would be like, "Yo, Ja, no disrespect, but can we take a shower?" You see what I'm saying? Because it's 20 niggas in the room or whatever. Like, I'm not gonna be trying to take no shower or whatever like that. So I like walk out and let them, use the room, take a shower or whatever. But we
Mhm.
just got like real close. You know what I'm saying? We would talk about like monetary issues, like how they was only giving him $150 to do a show.
Hey,
Um, it was just, like we was going through our struggles together, but we was like hungry artists. So we just would always, we just formed a bond.
so let me stop you there, Ja. Let me make sure I'm hearing this right. You said they was only getting $150 a show. That's Stacks and Max B. That's how much they was
Stacks,
getting
Max, Mel, giving all of us like all of them 150, and then so we was like boycotting the tour.
Oh,
Like everybody was like for that last tour, while Stacks was living, like pretty much we wasn't going on tour. So I know I missed like some dates. And Jim had Yandy to call me, and I'm like, I'm not making no money with Jim. I'm tired of Jim. I ain't going on the road.
mm,
And she was like, well, how much would you want to go on the road? So I would have been happy with $1,000.
mm,
But she was like, I told Jim that you wanted 1,000. He said he can't give you that. He can give you 300 a show. And she was like, trying at the end of the day, Yandy was Jim manager, so she was gonna advocate for him. But she knew he was with bullshit too. She was
mm,
just like, Ja, I know you frustrated, but it's a good look as far as the promotion is concerned. He said he'll give you $300, for a show plus, he'll give you 2,000 to get your like wardrobe. Well, my hair was 1,500.
mm,
So, you know what I'm saying? Like I still had to spend my own money to just like starting up. Luckily, the like Tool and Bleak and all them from Brooklyn, Slicey, like, what I mean, they will look out. Like those my real big brothers also,
mm.
like, you know what I'm saying? Like Jim will give you 300, but then Slicey will give you 1,000. You
Oh
know what
wow.
I'm saying? He's the one that told Jim to even get me a Birdgang chain because he was like, Jha Jha wrote the record. What you been drinking on? She got puff on your record, nigga. She helped you get $1,000,000 from
Mm,
Koch. Why you not doing right by her? So he kind of put pressure on Jim. You know what I'm saying? So if it really wasn't for them, you know what I'm saying, Bleak, Slicey, you know what I'm saying, like I would have been like starving.
mm. When the last time you spoke to them?
Slicey, we speak once in a while, but Slicey be staying low.
Mm-hmm.
I spoke to Bleak too. It was a little minute, but like everybody, they in good spirits and they doing their thing. But we don't talk daily, but we
Gotcha.
know what it is when we talk.
Wow, this is mind blowing. So I didn't know Jim got the deal off the record you was featured on.
Oh yeah,
Like,
nobody wasn't giving Jim no $1,000,000. Jim got $1,000,000 on Koch. His first album he did, On My Way to Church, did 17,000. That was before me and Max or Stacks.
mm,
Harlem Diary of the Summer, where he worked on that album after Puff Puff got on that record. The next album was that Hustler's Poem thing. He got $1,000,000 deal for that.
mm. And that was the album that Ballin was featured on. We
Right.
Fly High. We Fly High is the name of that record. Yeah.
Yeah.
AKA Ballin. Now, I gotta ask you this because there's a lot of speculation with that record. Some people say Max wrote it, some people say Stack Bundles wrote it. Was you there for the actual process of who wrote that record?
I was there and Stacks wrote that record.
Mm.
Max wrote Diddy verse on What You Been Drinking on. Max wrote a lot of verses, but that Ballin' record is Stacks record.
Oh wow.
Jim put the ad libs on it, but Stacks wrote that record.
So Stacks got his own version, like his own reference to that record.
Yeah.
Wow.
That and the remix.
Wow. That's crazy. Now, let me say this though, because the record is known as Ballin', but it's really called We Fly High. And Jim Jones ad libs, by saying ballin', that kind of gave the record a different splash. You know what I'm saying? So to speak. You think it would have been the same record if Stax would have released it without those ad-libs? And it's just a Stack record?
We'll never know because it was Stax wrote the record and he gave it to Jim. So, I can only go by that.
Correct.
What it, you know what I'm saying? Like what Stax wrote is what he wrote. You know what I mean? How it became displayed is a whole nother entity.
Wow. And to see
You
all
would
that.
have never had a balling if it wasn't the lyrics to make you. An ad-lib is nothing but an echo.
Correct.
You see what I'm saying? So you would have never had nothing to echo if he didn't give you, give you that material.
Foundation, yeah. Give you that. Yeah, because you know what? That was right around the time when Jeezy was out too, and he was capitalizing off his ad-libs. You know what I'm saying? Like the records was dope, but people loved Jeezy for his ad-libs. So I think around that time in that era, the ad-libs was like kind of like had a wave to him. You know
Of course. He was Stax wrote Weatherman too for Jim.
I could tell that. I could really tell on that. Stax is an incredible artist because he can go in any pocket. You know what I'm saying? He can go into any pocket. I met him a few times. Great energy. Loved his energy. Great vibes. Rest in peace. It's just ill the fact that you, Max, Stat was like bonding and y'all was going through similar issues and all that. So during that time when you was bonding and all that, was y'all recording your own records on the side?
Yeah, we was all recording records. You know what I'm saying? Like I know me, because my angle, like I was never really. They were street and I was around it, but I didn't grow up like that. You know what I'm saying? My parents did a great job raising me, so my musical inspirations were kind of different. You know what I'm saying? I looked at people more so like Missy Elliott, Andre 3000, Jermaine Dupri with production, Dre, like Usher, shit like that. P Diddy, like I was like more into what is going to be a hit record. You see what I'm saying? And you have to be, eclectic and different. It wasn't to like really getting around Camden and JR and Hellwell and Jewels, where the lyrical part of me started to take place. Because you gotta understand, like you spar with a bunch of lyrical dudes. You know what I'm saying? Like we would be at Hot 97 and everybody would have the chance to freestyle. So it's like you can't be in there spitting anything. Now you gotta match their energy. So now you have to come with the lyrical part of the music. And that's how I really got. You gotta have your bars, your metaphors. So like really Camden influenced me. It kind of taught me the actual part of rap. Because like I said before, like I was into more of the pop culture of it.
Man, this is ill. I ain't gonna front. You schooling me right now. I didn't know none of this. But what we gonna do, because we gonna get to a whole nother interview at another time, but we gonna get to what's on the landscape currently, right? 2025 jumped off kind of crazy for a lot of people, but mainly for you being alley-ooped in a situation. Right? Cam and Mace, they got the show. It is what it is. Salute to Cam and Mace.
Salute to Cam, salute to Mace. Shout out to Cam, man. Thank you so much for just mentioning my name. Because if you didn't mention my name, I probably wouldn't have got the opportunity to, to have a voice on a lot of these platforms, especially, like M.Reck, you know what I'm saying? So thank you.
Salute to Cam, salute to you. Now, Cam said, do you remember what Cam said exactly? I got it written down, but I want to hear from you. You remember what Cam said exactly on his show? It is what it is, like last week or so?
Jha Jha just wanted to be a rapper.
He said something else too.
Stop sending niggas on dummy missions.
It was something else. I think he said you did 10 years or something like that.
Yeah, he said 10 years, but I think he probably meant like I was away from the game for like 10 years. I did 4.5, almost 5 years in the feds.
Wow. Now let's go into that. how the hell you get caught up in the feds? Like, talk to me about that if you can.
So really, honestly, just being around the wrong people, my back was against the wall in a sense. I'm not blaming Jim for my actions because I take 100% accountability
That's
for what I chose to do. But pretty much when I told Jim I didn't want to deal with him no more, he was just like, pretty much I'm gonna make it hard for you to survive. Meaning you ain't getting no record deals. I'm finna scare everybody out of working with you. So Khaled was supposed to sign me to We the Best. He was the vice president for Def Jam. My
wow.
attorney had set it up. So she calls me and she's like, the deal fell through. And I'm like, why? She's like, he said, you're a great artist. He don't want to deal with Jim with that bullshit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, say Jim saying anybody that want to get to you got to go through him.
Wow.
He did it with KP from Sony, just cutting up, acting like he was going to be, you know, a big disrupt to, you know, anybody who would work with me. So my money was very, very low. You see what I'm saying? And I tried to get a job, but didn't know too much about jobs. I went from high school to college to going on tour. So, and then now everybody knows you as a particular artist. High fashion, fast car, fancy car driving artist. You see what I'm saying? So you have to keep up that
Image.
demeanor, you
Yeah.
know what I mean, and that image. So started being around just the wrong people. Then the wrong people was looking for them. Got involved in it and got indicted by the feds. But they really didn't want me. They wanted the other people. I just couldn't help them with that situation. So I had to take the fall for that.
Wow. That's crazy. Now, it was a video you put out, I want to say a few years ago, and I resurfaced that video on my platform and it went super viral. And in that video, you mentioned this situation you talked about, but you also said, or you called Jim Jones Detective Jones. And you said Jim Jones pretty much set up his best friends on a wiretap. You want to go into that?
Yeah, so we go into it. That's what it looked like to me. I can't call the man a rat because
Mhm.
I would hate to like think that he would do something like that to Melly. Because you know what I mean, I know Melly got genuine love for him and he has love for Melly, but I mean, if the information is accurate, what I seen and just dealing with my experience with the federal government, um, there's no way you a person, we could just say individual one. Whoever individual one is, that person is not right. You see what I'm saying? So if it's an AI version of Jim or whatever, whoever individual one, that person on the phone talking to Melly, yeah, like it's no way. That's like conspiracy. You know what I mean? Like, um,
Mm.
I'm gonna just tell you my experience with the feds.
Mhm.
Some people told me, we don't want you. You're a little fish. Help us get the big fish and you could walk out of here today. If I gave them what the information that they wanted.
Mhm.
The most you would do is 6 months probation, right?
Mhm.
So you got to think about it. And I heard the interview that Melly said that wasn't, that's not Jim or whatever. He's not on no paperwork or he didn't do nothing. So it's three ways you could look at that situation. The first way is, Jim may not really be a snitch, which is, I don't wish being a snitch on nobody. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? The other way is Melly may not know that Jim is individual one. Let's just say that.
Mm.
Melly may not know individual one is a
Mhm.
confidential informant because if you working for them people, you it's a secret. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna let it be known that you're working for them.
Correct.
Or three, Melly might do know, but he taking care of him. See what I'm saying? You gotta understand that conversation was from a federal prison phone call. So them people listening. That's one. And then two, you still have to survive while you're in prison. Your family still have to be taken care of. If Jim the one that's taking care of his family, you see what I'm saying? You're
Mhm.
gonna eat that. Of course you're gonna say nah, regardless of if you know the truth or not. I just know from my experience, my personal experience dealing with the feds, they don't work like that.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like me and you could be on the phone right now, right?
Mhm.
And if you say, Josh, I'm thinking about robbing the bank, and you go and rob the bank, and they got you on the phone calling my name, right? I'm
Mhm.
going down with you just because they gonna say, well, Jha Jha, you knew about it.
Mhm.
So how you on a phone conversation with a person? They gave Melly the grandfather role or something like that, right? But then you got this other person giving the grandfather the orders,
Mm.
but nothing happens to him. Everybody else go now except for you. You the bigger name.
Yeah,
They
that
will want you more than they want Melly.
yeah, that situation, I don't even know how to explain that because I
How,
know
how can you explain
yeah,
it? You know
I
what I
know
mean? And then I go back to like when we was on tour and on the road. I'm like, damn, the police used to always pull him over. We used to always get in trouble. He used to always get out. So,
mm,
you know what I'm saying? You like, it's, back then I was green, so I didn't know no better. But it's like, that's the reason why he kept getting out of these situations.
mm, wow, this is mind blowing.
To me too. So,
Which
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, with your situation, you wasn't even caught up on a wiretap, right? Correct?
That's what I'm trying to tell you. These people
Mm.
had they it was a rental car, one of my company rental cars. They was watching, I had rented the car for some people, right?
Mm.
So they just was tagged to my information. The car was in my name. So since the car was in my name, anything that was in the car was considered to be possession is 90% of the law.
Correct.
So pretty much that's what I went down for. My charges was fraud, but I didn't get hit with no like identity, like no tax fraud and nothing like that. It was possession with intent to defraud
Mm. Wow.
because the information was in my vehicle that I rented. So it's no connection to me. And they even said it. They said, we know you rap. We know your name, Jha Jha. We know you never been in trouble. We don't want you. We literally want you to help us get these people. And you can go on about your life. Like I literally had a choice to snitch and be free or do my time. At the end of the day, like I said, I take accountability for my responsibility for my actions. Like that's my choice. I did that. I decided to be around certain people that I shouldn't have been around. You know how the
Facts.
game go. You see
Yeah.
what I'm saying? You get jammed up. You don't. That is what it is. You chose to be in it, so you got to eat that.
Wow. Now, this brings me to my another question. To my other question. Now, Jha Jha, you sent me some pictures, right? You got two
Mhm.
types of pictures where you show your sexuality as a woman, you know what I mean? But still being sophisticated though. It was
Right.
never like raunchy or nothing like that. And then you send me some pictures where you rocking your sweatsuits and all that. You feel me?
Jha
Now,
Jha and Jeethi.
say that again.
Jha Jha and Jeethi.
Oh, it's two different people, two different
It's
personalities.
Yeah, it's two different stories. You see what I'm
Mm,
saying? Jha Jha is the creator and the pretty side of me, but everything in life is not always pretty, glammy glitz. You see what I'm saying? When I got into the situation where I had to like fend for myself and do things, couldn't really be Jha Jha. You know what I'm saying? Because you definitely would get taken advantage of and get tried. So you had to be a little bit more masculine. So that's where the Jeethi part of me comes in at, because it's two parts of the story. You know what I'm saying? It's two elements of
mm.
Jha Jha. So that's pretty much like I gave you a choice. Like you got the sexy, sophisticated one, but then you also got the one that's on some G shit, I guess you could say.
Yeah, I mean, let me know if I can ask you certain things because I got questions. I know a lot of people got questions. Let me
It's
know if
open
you.
range. It's open range. I
Oh,
told you.
okay. And this is all respect, first and foremost. All respect as you being a woman. You know what I mean? But now, what is your preference, if you don't mind me asking?
Um, you ever heard of an asexual?
Asexual? No, I'm out the loop.
I really like. So I like women, but I really don't be tripping on nobody right now. Like
Mm,
I'm so focused on like my career in music. I feel more comfortable with women, but as far as like how I like to dress, you never know. I might pop out on my Jha Jha shit when it's time to get pretty, and then I might pop out with some Tim's on when it's time to get gritty. You know
mm.
what I'm saying? So
Wow, that's deep. That's ill. Now you doing time in the feds. Did your personality? Did you always have this personality, or when you did your time in the feds, you kind of like that's when everything kind of switched. You had your two sides. You had like your double personality.
nah, that was out before I went to the feds. I was always a tomboy.
Okay, okay.
Jha Jha really is like the part of me that um came out with the music. Like, you see
Hmm.
what I'm saying? Because at that time, people wasn't really as liberal and to or open to being free
Hmm.
as they are now back then.
Got you.
So
Got
pretty much you had to have the hair out with the heels, with the half dressed half naked, just because that's what sex sells. Like, and even now till still to this day, you see what I'm saying? People be like, man, I wish you just be on some Jha Jha shit. All the guys be like, please go back, just dress like Jha Jha, da 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 da. But it's like, bro, we focusing on the music or we focusing on the image?
uh, mm. You know what? It threw me for a loop when I first saw you with the sweats and the scully on and all that, because I almost didn't know who you was. I'm like,
That was the purpose.
okay.
So it's also about rebranding. You see what
Mhm,
I'm saying? And also I just thought it would be a cool thing to be able to be the same person but look two different ways and look like
mm.
a whole different person and be one person, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, it make perfect sense because it's not me. God damn it. You know what I
So
mean?
and then also it also tied into like the skits that I'm doing, the movies that I'm doing. I'm actually doing like a film and a story about myself, but I started doing the multiple personality thing like 15 years ago, where
Got,
GT was like the hood crazy one, and Zha Zha was a pretty girl and stuff like that. So just the two different personalities.
mm. Now, with you having two different personalities, do you plan on like having kids one day, or that's off the
Now I
table?
would love to have some kids.
Mm.
Yeah.
Now, having kids the normal way, or because I know there's different ways people can have kids these days. You know what I mean? Uh,
Probably I don't know about the normal way, but I'm not sure. Like I can't say whatever. I'm a firm believer in God. You know what I mean. So whatever God has in store, that's what God have in store.
Got you. Got you. So, and let me ask you this, because I know when people, or at least men, see your sophisticated, sexy
Y'all be
picture.
doing the most. Oh my God.
Well, look, they be on. I gotta ask these questions for them.
That's what
So,
I'm saying. Y'all be doing the most. Like they be like, it's like, can I live? Like, damn, like all these other, you know what I'm saying? I should have, what my mistake was? I came out as Jha Jha, and then that's
mm,
all they want. They're like, we like GT, but nah. When you bring Jha Jha back? Like, so you know what I'm saying? But then on the other hand, you got the women who like, Jha cool, but we rocking with GT. So it's like you gotta make everybody happy, and it's like you gotta find time to make everybody happy.
mm. So, do you think you can like have that balance where you can make the men and the woman happy, like on the artist side as well as on the personal side?
Of course, I did it
Mm,
before where I had Futuristic Pop Star, which was produced by my man Moonshine Brown. And then I had that was the pretty girl pop star style of me. You see what I'm saying? And
mm,
I actually was rapping about male female relationships in that on that.
mm,
Um like a heterosexual lifestyle. And then you got GT who did Swimming with the Sharks. Voice was different, look was different, talking about, just the other
mm,
lifestyle that I had to live, hustling, being on the block, um, bitches, gambling, strip club, like all that type of stuff. It's two total different um worlds that I created. Um and that I show. So yeah, I definitely can. It's
mm.
just time consuming, and it's so Jha Jha is a bag. You know what I'm
Gotcha.
saying? Like it costs a lot of money for me to be Jha Jha.
It
GT
don't.
not so much. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like you go ahead and it take me 10 minutes to be GT. It take me 3 hours to be Jha Jha.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? You got hair, I have really long hair, you have makeup, you have, and also etiquette. Like you gotta, everything is a production when it comes to being Jha Jha. And female artists, they understand it. Like y'all dudes, y'all just put y'all clothes on, get your hair cut and go.
Mm,
So it's easier at times to be GT because you know what I'm saying, like monetary wise and also just like time. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you don't have like a crew. You know what I mean? I think me and you was talking about that. Like if it's you don't have a crew, you
correct.
know what I'm saying, available at all times. Now I don't really got I don't have to do that. If I want to do an interview, I just get on my GT shit and people like, oh, she just on GT today.
Mm, wow. Yo, Ja, I'm still trying to put all this together. You know what I'm saying? And then also, you know, I'm still speaking for the dudes that's asking you, can they live? You know what I mean? So when they saying stuff like that to you in the comments, is that more so like we need to see more pictures of a Jha Jha, or they really trying to, you know, shoot their shot, so to speak? Respect.
Both. Just to be honest with you, both. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, that's how I was introduced. You see what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? So I've developed a whole fan base, people who love Jha Jha, you know what I'm saying, and really didn't get enough of Jha Jha. You see what I'm
Mm,
saying? They like, we like that. Where you at? And like, so it's like you have to, be true to the art also, you know what I'm saying? Like, and give your fans what they want on all ends. You know what I'm saying? That's what you sign up for when you become an artist.
mm. Yeah, salute to you for that's a tough thing to balance. You know what I
It
mean?
is.
Salute to you. So now, how do you balance like because women they have different curves, and when you was putting them dresses on and all that, you
So
was
I'm
kind of
like, I'm like, I have a nice body, but it's like slender, I guess I would say.
mm-hmm,
But I don't got no ass like that. So some people can't pull it off because they got ass. I don't really have no ass like that.
mm,
So it don't look bad like if you dressed up as a girl because it's like I got like a model kind of physique. I would say, but
mm-hmm.
it don't. So it gives you like the edge to dress like a dude because you see what I'm saying. You don't have all those curves, but then when you put on the dress, you do got curves. It's weird.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's you schooling me right now. You know what I mean? Wow, this is crazy. So now let's go back to music. Now, in terms of the whole Jim Jones, Big Joe, Cameron situation, do you think in another, I guess, life, things could have been better with you signed under Cam as being like the official Dipset first lady with signed the paperwork to Cam? Do you think things would have went better if that?
Absolutely.
Mm,
Really, it was just being able to have that opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Just that spotlight. One thing I could say about Cam is that he gave all his artists a chance. Now, whatever they did with that chance was on them, but
mm,
everybody got a chance to get a deal. You see
mm,
what I'm saying? Like he wasn't stingy with the bird. Like from J.R. Hellwell, Freaky Zeke, Jim,
mm-hmm,
40 Cal, they all had opportunities. You see what I'm saying? Like that's all I ever needed was that one opportunity. When I say that, I don't mean like, okay, I got a 9 to 5 job. So I work my 9 to 5 job to pay for my career, right?
mm-hmm.
But you're working your 9 to 5 job, you taking away time that you are putting into your craft because you got to work this job, right?
Correct.
If
Mm-hmm,
I had an opportunity where all I could do is just focus on my music, you see what I'm saying? Where they say, hey, Jha Jha, you got a budget. You get your producers who you want. You got 3 videos we're going to shoot for you. We're going to give you a shot. You see what I'm saying? I would have been out of here. That's all I would ever needed, right?
mm,
Cam gave his artists that. All of them had video shoots. All of them had marketing.
Mm.
All of them had like they own designated time.
Mhm.
Like, you see what I'm saying, to come out. I didn't get that with Jim. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think nobody ever was gonna. Even now, I don't think nobody's gonna get that with Jim, because Jim wants. He don't really want artists. He wants a posse, a
Mm.
entourage. You stand behind me, make me look good. I'm gonna win. I'm gonna throw y'all some crumbs. But that's pretty much what he wants. You see what I'm saying? And now, as you can still see the way that he's maneuvering now. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't put artists out. What artists do you see that he put out? Pretty sure he has a lot of talent around him. But really, who are you shining the spotlight on? Like, stepping out of the spotlight and saying, "Go, this all we focusing on is you." No, the focus has to be on him. One thing that I can say about Kim, he gave everybody a shot.
Mm. Now, with Jim, you think he doing this in terms of just draining artists for their energy?
Of course,
Mm.
Vampire Records,
Mm. Yeah, we talked
Bloodsucker
about
Records. Yeah, absolutely.
Mm.
Jim's still chasing 0507. He's still chasing balling Harlem Diary of a Summer. He wants that again. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm afraid until he gets it, or if he gets it, yeah, that's all he on. That's what I don't really lock in and pay attention to Jim until like stuff like this happens,
Mhm.
where it becomes viral, and then you have to, because it's everywhere.
Yeah.
But when it does happen, I'm like, oh, he's still in the same space that he was in 15 years ago. I don't see any growth. I don't see any change. I don't see anything like that. I get PS, like, what do they call that? Whenever I see him doing stuff, I get, what is it called? PSTD?
Yeah.
I get that.
Got you. Now, I want to ask you some things, good and bad, about the situation, right? Just so we can have balance, because life is about balance. Good, bad, up, down, side, left, right. Um, Now let's talk about the back and forth that he just had with Cam, right? And he said some things, whereas, you know, pretty much everything started at his grandmother's house with Cameron and Mace. And then Cameron responds like, "Yo, homie, you was just a fan. Like, you was offering your grandmother crib so I can bring chicks through and bag up my crack at your grandma's house." You know what I'm saying? So it seems like Jim like to rewrite history, so to speak. You know, is that the case when it comes to, I guess, your situation? You know what I mean? Because I'm pretty sure he mentioned you in interviews or why you not around, and then also you had to like break your silence because nobody knew what exactly happened to you. It's almost like people were saying like you just quit or something. So I don't know.
Yeah, I definitely had to break my silence. But do I
Mhm.
think he's trying to rewrite history? Like, you mean right his wrongs?
No, just rewrite history just in general. It's people, say for instance, somebody might put them on, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it might have been a long time ago. It might have been like 20, 30 years ago, right? But the internet and all that wasn't, prevalent the way it is now. So it's people, they'd be like, oh, you know what? He did put me on 20 years ago, but there's no documents to prove that. So this is when, you know, everything happened. You understand? It's people who move like that. So is Jim like one of those people that don't like to give credit to the people that threw him an alley oop and tell it for what it is?
I definitely think that Jim is a great, what's the word, poser.
Mm.
If I would say so, like, he's very good at taking somebody's splash and acting as if it was his. And if you listen to like certain things he says, even from like the fashion,
Mhm.
where he was like, I started this rock and roll shit, when
Mhm.
really, and then he would give like attribute to like his brother and Chrissy. You didn't start the rock and roll shit. Chrissy started it, but
Mm.
he took it like it was his. But Chrissy dressed him. You didn't make Ballin'. You see what I'm saying? Stacks wrote Ballin', but you don't say Stacks' name. You say it's mine. With Dipset, you don't say Cam gave me an opportunity to be who I am. You say I started Dipset. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm going to? So it's like your whole legacy, so to speak, is based off of what other people have attributed to you. And instead of you saying, you know, it's like internal, like that's very selfish. You get what I'm trying to say? It's like I want all of the attention on me. It's got to be me, 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 me. That's very divish, you know, because just say, hey, I'm happy to be a part of this. I learned a lot. I admire you. You see what I'm saying? Because I definitely feel like he loves Cam and he admires him. I just feel like he wants to be in Cam position. But the thing is, you have to own your whoever you are as a person. Cam is Cam. You can't take away that Cam created Dipset. You can't take away Cam's creativity. Cam is a real creator. You know what I mean? Like Mace is a real creator. Jim was taught to rap. So that's kind of probably why they clowning him, because it's like, bro, you never even did this shit before, like until we came around. Like that's why they saying you're a fan, because you didn't even know how to do none of this shit. We taught you how to do this shit. We gave you your whole splash when it came to we gave you an in. I gave you an in. You know what I mean? And now you wanna, cause you are at the level you're at. Now it's fuck me. You know what I'm saying? No, nigga, fuck you.
Jha Jha, I'm gonna say this. You answered my question perfectly. Perfectly. Wow, salute. Because that's exactly what I wanted to know, because Jim is one of a million. It's a lot of people that's on his type of time, that's on that frequency.
But that's what happened when you're not a creator. Like me, I could never like take somebody else's idea and not give them credit or act like it's mine. I wouldn't sleep right, because it would bother me the fact that I'm so creative that, you know what I'm saying, like we creative people don't do no shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like because it's in us. Like we have our own gifts. That's a God-given gift. Jim is a person where he's a great model. Like he could sell you a script, and there's nothing wrong with that. But you also have to realize when you're not the person who's writing the script, you see what I'm saying? You got to know that you still need help. You know what I'm saying? He's at the point now where it's kind of like a delusion thing. Like when I see it, I'm a platinum selling artist. The people around you helped you become a platinum selling artist. You got $1 million because the people around you didn't get no $1 million since then. You see what I'm saying? Like the people around you helped you do that. It's not something like you put me in the studio by myself. I'm gonna come up with the album title, the album songs, the album concepts, the video treatments, the marketing budget. It's just me in the studio. Like if you ever look at any of my footage, I don't have an entourage with me in the studio. It's just be me and the engineer, right? Then you got people like Jim, who you need all of that energy. You need somebody to tell you, no, I think you should say it like this. I think you should do this. Here go the hook. Here go, and then you just put in your little your inserts. You see what I'm saying? That's not a real artist. You see what I'm saying? Like, so you got to give the real artists their credit, and it becomes delusion when you think that you're responsible for all this stuff yourself.
That's deep.
I'm pretty sure them people around him writing records for him, I'm pretty sure they be talking shit, selling out. This nigga ain't putting us on. This nigga blah blah blah. Because all you want is background. You want a entourage, a posse. That's it. Everything always gonna be about him.
Wow. Now, I know you probably don't lock into his music, because a lot of people say Jim Jones is one of the most improved rappers over the last 10 years. Do you agree with that?
He's definitely better than what I met him at, because I remember we was doing another record he had before called Harlem. He does a lot of Harlem records. And I was like, you should say what, no, because I think he was trying to beef with Jay-Z. And I was like, you should say what the fuck they gonna do with Capo. But he was like not good at rapping. Like he was It was all right. He's much better than what he was. You see what I'm saying? But people like a Cam, you know what I mean? Me or Max and other people, the reason why they, I guess, say that like he's a fan or whatever is because we creatives. Like nobody taught us how to rap. It was in us. Right. So that's why people don't, like they kind of downplay his improvement because it's almost like, you at the level where we was at when we first started rapping.
That's deep. Wow, that's deep. Man, there's so many places.
But he's definitely, like, from what I've heard recently, like, he's definitely improved. Like, I'm not here to, like, try to bash the man or hate him. I'm just telling my story. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't even wish no bad on him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, at the end of the day, life is life. You know, things happen, but, shit, it is what it is.
Got you. Now, I want to get into everything you got going on, but I want to just kind of, like, cap this off with this. Is there any good memories with Jim Jones for you?
Yeah, I got a chance to see the world. I met some great people. I met Stax, a legend. I met Max. We had some good times. We laughed too. You know what I'm saying? Like, Jim is not a all around terrible person. He's real laid back. It's just his intentions sometimes are not clear, I would say. Like, if you just tell people your intentions, look, I just need you to be in the background and give y'all a certain amount of dollars, but it's really about me. You see what I'm saying? Then people will have different expectations. But when you sit up and sell people dreams, you see what I'm saying? And we gonna reach the star, the sun, and the moon, and I'm gonna do this and do that. And then they sitting around waiting, wasting time, getting older and older and older while you're the only person that's capitalizing. You know what I mean? That's where the disconnect and the problem becomes. Yes, you see what I'm saying? Like, you could have just left me over there where I was at, and I just would have just wrote records for you. You know what I mean? You didn't have to intervene and say, oh, you Birdgang artist. And then too, Jim, like, that wasn't even his thing. That was Shice Bubs, Purple City Birdgang. That's where all that Birdgang stuff came from. So, shout out to Shice too. But I just feel like if you're more honest with people, then the reaction that you get will be totally different. Because you can't be mad at somebody. They tell you up front, like, hey, man, look, I just need you to write these records. I'm going to try to get you some bread for this. But really, I'm focusing on me.
That's a fact. It's funny you mentioned the Shice Bub, Purple City Birdgang, because I was around all that, and Shice is the homie.
Yeah, that's on Casa, Shice Bub, and all that. Like, yeah.
Yep. I remember Cameron trademarking Birdgang. You know what I'm saying?
Cam trademarks everything.
That's a fact.
Like, no, I'm just for real. Like the guy is very smart. Like, he trademarked everything. Like, you know what I mean? And then too, it's like, shit, I see you over here. We supposed to be a group. I see what you doing, nigga. He probably just did it really just to be funny, because that's like what he do. You know what I mean? Like, and then, Jim being Jim, yeah, he was like, nigga, where you going? Gotta come through me still. That's the first thing anybody should do. I learned that from like Kim. Like, anything that I say now, I trademark. Before I even talk about it, it's already trademarked. It's already protected. Because of that issue, I was like, oh, hell no.
Man, look, I want to go into that real quick. The Splash brand you have, that's a clothing brand, right?
It's clothing and it's entertainment.
Okay.
So I got it under a class 25 and a 41.
Nice. You got to protect it. Salute. And you also kind of like called Jim out for trying to run with the brand, so to speak, right?
Yeah, I did. That was the reason why he got called Detective Jones. I was pretty much doing that to back him off. Like, so I work hard for this Splash thing. Like, I'm more like the first person to really like go hard saying Splash. Max B was the wave guy. I was the Splash guy. I think Jim did a song because he had her saying it, Splash, you know what I mean, him and Jewels, but they never pushed that, you know what I mean? Like, it was just like a song. I never thought nothing of it. You know what I'm saying? If you go back and listen to my mixtapes, I've been on my Splash for like 15 years. Then all of a sudden, it just started catching on. People just started saying splash, splash, splash. And I guess, Jim seen that it started catching on. So he got in, he's gonna try to get involved. But I'm like, yo, bro, nah. I work real hard for that. If you go back and listen to like all my mixtapes, you go back and look at my skits, I'm talking splash and that. You don't really see Jim saying no splash until just recently.
Wow. This is mind blowing.
He was on some vampire life and all that type of stuff. And like a lot of people don't understand like what my terminology for splash mean. It means like light that's within you as a person. You see what I'm saying? Your je ne sais quoi. It's either you got it or you don't. Splash.
Salute. Now I gotta ask you about this individual one. Now, was that something that came from 50 Cent, or that was something that came from his federal situation? I'm trying to understand that. The whole individual
that's
one.
paperwork. It's on the listed as Jones and individual one. So it's on that. So what happens is people don't, when these artists tell you that, check my paperwork, I didn't snitch, blah, blah, blah. They know that when it's dealing with the feds, nobody can ever get their paperwork because it's confidential evidence. The only reason that y'all seen that clip or heard that was because it was part of a discovery in a trial. So by law, you have due process rights, right? It's against your constitution. It's a violation of your constitutional rights if somebody brings charges against you, but they don't let you know all of the evidence that they have against you, right? So in discovery, that comes up in that trial, right? So it gives you a chance to either plead out or go to trial. If you choose to go to trial, that discovery now becomes public information because it's a part of a transcript. And with your transcript, that's how you fight like your appeals and all that type of stuff. Nobody would have never seen that information had everybody would have just took a plea. The fact that I guess the other people that was going like defending themselves against Tekashi, they went to trial. So that's why that information became public. That's the only reason that y'all would have seen that. If they wouldn't have went to trial, y'all would have never seen that.
Damn. Wow. That's crazy. So when you see somebody like a 50 Cent, get involved with all this, federal wiretaps, Jim Jones being on these wiretaps saying what he said, with Mel on the line and 50 calling him individual one, and then Cameron, had a interview with 50 Cent, and that situation came up with 50 Cent bringing Jim Jones on stage during the time when Dipset wasn't seeing eye to eye.
Yeah, I was there.
You was there?
Yeah, I was there.
Explain that.
I mean, Jim just thought he was hotter than what he was. Like, Jim always, like, he didn't really too much care about Cam or the Dipset. He was more so about him and his brand. And, people was like, that's a better, 50 Cent is super huge. So he just took that opportunity, you know what I'm saying, to make himself, the artist, better. He wasn't really looking at Dipset as a whole or how that would make him look. He was looking at the bag, the bigger picture, for pretty much people knowing who Jim Jones is. Which was like, it backfired, you know what I mean, in his situation because it just made him appear disloyal. Especially not you, like you can't right-hand man. You see what I'm saying? No way possible. I don't care how much I'm beefing with somebody. I'm finna go on any platform with the enemy. And we supposed to be this close. That make the family look crazy. You know what I'm saying? But he didn't, he didn't care. He was all about the money.
Crazy to the point whereas 50 comes on Cam's show and pretty much says to Cam, yeah, I was just throwing the bait out there, you know what I'm saying, to see if he was going, take it.
So yeah, this like not no disrespect to Jim or nothing, but Cam is the person that everybody respected, you know what I mean, even as far as the labels were concerned. Everybody pretty much was trying to go through Jim to get to Cam. You know what I'm saying? So it's like 50 respect Cam. He really didn't respect Jim like that. And that I think that goes back also to Jim not really being a real artist. So the fact that, 50 threw that bone out, he took it, it exposed the weakness. You see what I'm saying? Because it shows that you're not as strong as you present yourself to be. If I was able able to come in here and get in and disrupt y'all situation, y'all, I can come in here and fuck this whole thing up. I could shake this whole organization up, which it did. Like, I know if I was Cam, I would have felt some type of way about that. It's like, bro, I don't care if we talking or not. Like, you don't do no shit like that.
Definitely. Especially when we publicly beefing, you know what I'm saying? And the fact that I think things could have been rectified if Jim would have came to Cam and said, yo, you know, even if Cam would have shut it down, like, yo, Cam, you think we could utilize this 50 Cent situation to take the Dipset thing to the next level? And even if Cam like, nah, fuck that nigga, we beefing, you know, at least you had that conversation opposed to just going on stage. You know what I'm saying?
There's a lot of middlemen involved also. Like, it was a lot of people who was saying, you know, Jim, you hotter than Cam right now. Because we did have like the streets, you know what I'm saying, like on fire with the whole Birdgang thing, with the Harlem Diary of the Summer, and then the balling. So it's a lot of people like, you know, you don't need him. You can do this and you can do that, like gassing him up. It was a lot of divide and conquer. You know what I'm saying? People was happy to see, you know, them become separated. And then it was some people who didn't want to deal with Jim. But the fact that Cam was attached to him, you see what I'm saying, that made them deal with him. But it was just on both sides. It was people, you know what I'm saying, gossiping in each person's ear, or, you know what I'm saying? Because it was like one comment that was made to me, that was like, oh yeah, Jha, you fucking with the other side now. And I'm like, what other side? Like, I thought we was all family. This is not a family, like, because let me know, like, you know what I mean? I didn't sign up for none of this shit. You see what I'm saying? I thought we was all working together as one. So it's not one no more, it's divided. So you see what I'm saying? It was a lot of tension building up, you know what I mean? And you can definitely probably felt some type of way that niggas like turned their back on him when, you know what I'm saying, it was a time for everybody to unite, you know what I mean, and become like a unit.
Yeah, facts. Now, in that situation, being that you was there, what was that energy like? Because it wasn't just Jim Jones and Jewels and whoever was, you know, around that. Remember, 50 brought out Remy Ma, he brought out J Hood, and this is the time when Remy Ma was beefing with Fat Joe and the whole Terror Squad thing, and J Hood was separating himself from the Locks and all that. What was that whole energy like? Could you give us those visuals?
I mean, it was just like separation, like real cold. You know what I'm saying? Like some gangs type shit. Like, you over here, we over there, and that's what it is. It's who you riding with. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't a good place to be in. You know what I mean? Like, that ain't what I came there for. Like, I came there to do music. I wasn't coming there for all that crazy stuff.
So when you got a chance to kind of like analyze shit after everything that happened, how was you looking at everybody? You know, the whole Jim Jones situation, even the Remy and the J Hood. Did you like, damn, this nigga 50 just played everybody and niggas fell for it? Was you on that type of time? Because I was
like, I definitely was like that. But, you know, at the end of the day, I don't know Remy's situation with Fat Joe. I don't know J Hood's situation with Fat Joe. I mean, with the Locks. So I can't really speak on them. I can only speak on what I seen from, you know, Jim. And like, honestly, you know, Jim just wanted to be an artist also, like, so he was gonna take any opportunity. Like, Cam wasn't really vibing with Violator, and he was, you know, rocking with Yandy and Mona, and Cam at first wasn't really too much keen to that. You see what I'm saying? So it's a lot more in depth with that, you know, like, Jim didn't have to do 50. He was on some Jim shit. He wasn't never like, I think he stopped thinking about Dipset as a whole for a minute, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think he really just wanted to be a solo artist.
got you. And the fact he brought this up recently in an interview, he claimed he was upset that Cameron got on that phone call with 50 and everything went haywire with their phone call, and they put out those diss records, you know, towards each other, the funeral music, and then Cam had the Curtis joint. Jim was feeling like, well, at least he said recently that was some You know what I mean? That was some bullshit. Like he didn't have to do that. That shit didn't really amount to nothing. And then the fact he had his own situation at Koch at the time, it was like he didn't understand why Cam did that shit. You know what I'm
But
saying?
you gotta understand, Cam had a situation at Koch too, and not even that, you wouldn't even had your situation at Koch if it wasn't for Cam. You gotta realize like
Mhm,
Cam is the start to all of that, to everybody
mhm,
getting a bag. So where's your loyalty at this point?
mm,
Like at the end of the day, you my dog, right or wrong. Like I'm not
facts.
like in the light of public, we gonna be united. But one on one, yeah, I'm gonna be like, hey man, you tripping. You see what
Mm,
I'm saying? Like that's what like, the people around me, like my guy Moon, like we have real conversations. There's been times that we don't, get along or whatever, but nobody would not know that. You see what I'm saying? And
facts.
if I'm right or if I'm wrong, he pulled my coattail in the same thing. So that's because we real friends. You know what I mean? Like y'all supposed to be real friend. You supposed to be this man friend like that. You saying that he was at your grandmom's house and all that. You see what I'm saying? But you can't go to him and be like, hey, let's think about this for a minute. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Like
Right.
you didn't do that. You was beat you didn't care about no shit like that. Really, you was down with the beef until you got hot. When you
Mm,
got hot and 50 was like, nah, come over here. He just only seen the dollar signs, and that's just pretty much it. The
mm,
exposure and the dollar signs. I don't think he cared about all the extra stuff, because if you really sat down and cared about it, you wouldn't have done it. This is something that's been brewing. This is not
mhm,
something that's new. You know what I mean? He been had wanted to be his own person and do his own thing, which is not a bad thing. It's
correct.
just how you go about stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like say that shit. Don't be sneaky, and then once you get popping, oh y'all niggas ain't fuck with me like that. I ain't never fuck with y'all niggas, and y'all get off my dick and da da da. You been wanting to say that. You know what I'm
Yo.
saying? You've been feeling like that. This ain't just happened 2025. This ain't just happened 2020. You've been feeling like this for years, 20, 30 years. When they used to probably be clowning you, you probably was mad as hell. Like, watch, wait, nigga. Yeah.
Mhm,
You see what I'm saying? Like it's not this is not something that happened overnight. You know what I mean? And then too, like I say, divide and conquer. You got a lot of people that wanted to see that happen.
yep.
You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of people that felt like they can gain from Cam if they get him away from Jim. And you got a lot of people that feel like they can gain from Jim if
Mm,
they got him away from Cam. Perhaps I could be in that position. Perhaps I can get close to you now. You see what I'm saying?
mm,
The thing is, you have to be, all parties got to be smarter than that. You know what
mm.
I'm saying? To know I see this coming, like I know what this is. So we gonna maneuver around it. It was one thing that somebody told me, nigga named DJ Shay, shout out to DJ Shay, Zoe Pound. He told me never let somebody get in between. Like if you walking somewhere or you out, never let somebody walk between you and your people. They gotta go around. If you move
Mm,
out the way when they walk in, if you move out the way when they come in, that shows them that y'all can be divided.
mm.
You see what I'm saying? And that
That's
always stuck.
gems. That's gems.
That always, shout out to DJ Shay, that
That's
always stuck.
gems.
You know what I'm saying, with me. So even now, like if I'm with some people and I see them move out the way, I be like, nah.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like you ain't on that type of time. But it's like all that could have been avoided if you would have just been, a stronger unit. But when somebody have ulterior motives, you see what I'm saying? Like, then that's what happens. People can come in and infiltrate your whole system.
No doubt. I gotta ask you this: where was you at when that Dipset versus Locks versus happened?
What year was that?
It wasn't that long ago,
I
but
wasn't around. Like I
no. I
wasn't.
mean, I mean, did you watch it? Was you tapped into it? I think that
I
had to
think I,
be
I,
like
I
during the
think I was.
pandemic.
I think I was at work. It was
Mm,
one point where I was working like two jobs, trying to invest in my print company. So I don't think I heard about it, but I was locked into like getting the bag so I can get to a
Gotcha.
better situation.
Well, let's talk about that. Like you got a lot going on. You do fashion shows. You got a lot going on, Job. Like, could you bring us up to speed with what you got going on?
Yeah, so I got my own clothing brand, Splash brand, aka Splash God. That's the alias. Then I do the music. Then also have a film company, where I rent out like red cameras, and then I also shoot my own skits. And then I also have a printing company along where I manufacture and make my own clothing, but also I make custom clothes for like warehouses, schools, churches, funerals, you name it. I do a silk screen, DTG, DTF, embroidery, all that.
Wow, salute. Now, the fact that you in film with all this going on and just the Jha Jha story, are you gonna do like a story on your life, like a movie on your life, documentary?
Definitely doing we doing documentaries, we doing skits,
Mm,
music videos. Like I just pretty much locked in where I made a budget and I seen how much everything would cost, and I just pretty much worked like a 9 to 5 job, 2 9 to 5 jobs to raise the money up to invest into myself.
mm,
And pretty much, by the grace of God, I was able to attain everything that I worked for. So now it's just go time.
mm,
So I
mm,
got the skits coming out, The Adventures of Jha Jha and Jeethi. And that's like talking about the two separate lifestyles that I live.
mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna do that. Um,
You got a date on that or a
so
roundabout?
so we about to drop that probably like in the next 2 weeks.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I actually probably have the trailer out. With like in the next 2 weeks we looking at it. I'm just like finishing up like little touchy touch with the editing and things of that nature.
Are you editing or you got a team that's doing that?
So I edit, but if you know some good people, because it sure takes some time off of
What?
mine. If you got some editors, you know what I mean. I also got the I'm Outside record dropping to get from.
Uh,
I mean the I'm Outside, Shot Caller, Alien, produced by Moonshine Brown. I got another record called What I Want. It's everything's gonna be a domino effect. We finna hit them with the music, the fashion, and the film.
as you should. Deserve it. Now, with everything going on, when was the last time you spoke to Cam directly on the phone or face to face?
Oh, me and Cam spoke recently when he did the shout out to me. So we got the situation coming up with come and talk to Flea. You see what I'm saying? So y'all be on the lookout for that also.
Salute. So we gonna see you on that Cameron network.
Oh yeah. He
Oh,
definitely threw the alley hoop, so it's only right.
nah, salute to Cam for throwing the alley. That's what's up. That's what I'm talking about. How that conversation go? You mean you ain't gotta tell us everything, but how that conversation go?
It was just pretty quick, short and sweet, like you know what I'm saying. I see you, I appreciate you. You know what I mean? Got to get you on the show. I see you doing your thing. You know what I mean? Proud of you. Let's make it right. So,
Mm, that's what's up. Now, did Cam already have your number, or he hit you through DM, or y'all know mutual people? How that go?
now we know mutual people.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Mm-hmm.
hadn't spoken to Cam in like years. You see what I'm saying? So I haven't spoken to nobody. But of course, through the social media thing and like mutual people, that's nothing but a phone call away.
Correct. Now, when he just threw you that alley oop, where was you at? Because I know
Work.
your timeline went crazy. I know your at replies, your alerts went crazy. So you
Man,
was at work.
I was at work
Uh-huh.
and it's crazy because I'm at work. It's like 9 o'clock in the morning, and all of a sudden my IG goes crazy, my TikTok goes crazy, my phone go crazy. Moon like text me. He was like, "Cam said your name," but he was like, "You need to go. You need to watch this because he really looked out for you or whatever." So next thing you know, after that, my phone just started going crazy. People I don't even talk to, cuz you know what I'm saying? Kev said your name. Oh, he threw you the alley hoop. You got this. It's time to go. You know what I mean? Like it was wild. People, females I ain't talked to, all type of stuff. Like people wanting to do interviews, people wanting to do shows, songs. Like I was like, damn, but I'm still at work, so I'm like, what the hell is going on? So when I got home, I had watched it and I was like, nah, I definitely gotta, let him know thank you. Tell him thank you publicly, not just, what I'm saying, on some private shit, like publicly, because people probably didn't know my disposition with him. You see what I'm saying? Or maybe felt like it was still pressure or whatever. But me and Cam just had like a misunderstanding of each other. And as I got older, I understood why kind of like he did certain things. Like one time he was in the studio, which made me feel like he didn't like me, was he when I was doing the Itchy Itchy Yaya record with Jewels, he was like, yo, no disrespect, but you Joe artist, you gotta wait till Joe come. And I was like, damn, I thought the nigga said he wanted to sign me. Like, what's up? Like, why you acting like that? But really, it's more of a,
It
you
was
know,
it's protocol.
protocol, and not even that. You're a 19-year-old girl, right? You around. We don't know you like that. We don't. You could be a plant. You could be anything. We got to see who you are for real. You see what I'm saying? Because he's all about protecting his brand. And then it's like, is this girl really serious? So once he found out and seen like, oh, Jha Jha just really just on some music shit. She real talented. You see what I'm saying? That's when he started opening up, communicating, like vibing, going on tour, laughing and stuff like that. But then Jim stepped in. So we kind of, and of course, I guess whatever they had going on, kind of like edged things out.
Got you. I think we lost Moonshine. I don't know if his phone died or whatever.
Yeah, he just said it. He got kicked out. It's all good.
Okay. Nah, definitely. Man, this is ill. Like, because you told me some things that I would have never guessed. And then the fact, I want to say this. You hit me, I want to say maybe a day or two after that Cameron, alley-oop situation happened.
Yeah, you was the first person I know that like you had posted some stuff and you posted it in a positive light, and I had like a lot of respect for you. Cause the other interview that I had did with Flip, I felt like he didn't really have my best interest at heart. So I was like, I'm not doing no more interviews because he tried to kind of discredit my character. Like I was tripping about saying that Jim didn't look out for Stacks. So I was like, nah, I'm not really too much doing no more interviews or whatever. So when it happened, I had like a lot of people reach out to me, and I was like, let me holler at M.Reck first. See what I'm saying? And see, what it is or whatever. So I definitely reached out, you know what I mean? Just
Yeah,
cause, the positive energy that we had.
yeah, Ja, I love you for that. That was, I looked at my DM. It just say, we need to do an interview, fam. Like, you got right to it. I'm like,
Yeah.
the official salute.
Yeah,
Cause
cause I
it's
know
like,
we all both we both busy people or whatever, and I know
uh-huh.
you busy people. And my brother Jojo Capone too. He
Yeah,
was
that's
like holla at M.Reck, Ja,
wow.
like talk to M.Reck or whatever. So
That's crazy. That's my brother. Shouts to JoJo Capone. Y'all too G'd up, super G'd up. Both of y'all on that note. But you got my platform anytime. I told you that already, but I'm gonna tell the world right now. We're telling the world. So any trailers you need, we posted. I got you on IG. When I'm live, I'm gonna run them. So anything you got going on,
I need you to help me with these singles that I'm about to drop in these trailers.
got
You got me?
I got you. You got my word.
Okay.
We on record.
I bet.
Got
Y'all
you.
hear him now. He got me now.
Listen, you got my word. You know what I'm saying? Just when shit get really cracking, just don't forget. That's all. Don't forget. You know what I mean? Because I know it's gonna get lit again. You know what I'm saying? I'm here.
It's definitely about to get crazy. We got the interview also with Whack 100 or whatever, like which was super dope too. Like they didn't go too hard on me. So it was dope. It's definitely gonna get cracking. But the only thing is we about to focus on the music.
What's
See
going
what
on
I'm
with
saying?
that? What's up with the music, man? How often are you in the studio recording?
I'm always in this whenever I get time, like so my schedule, like because this was totally unexpected. Luckily, I just had like a bunch of stuff already in the vault. But whenever I get time, I'm in the studio. Like when I had bought my house, I made sure that I had enough space to be able to create. So I got my own studio here. I got my own uh photography here. I do my own photo shoots. I also go outside, but like to cook up, I do it here, and then I go like to the big studio You know what I'm saying? To get it mixed down. So I've been working when I have time. The music, like I say, I got the record Shot Caller. It's actually already out, available on all platforms. I'm outside, go in the house. All those are already on Spotify, Apple, all the platforms. So
Mhm.
yeah, I'll definitely go check that out. We just finna get back into the visuals, introducing the people who don't know me and reintroducing myself to the people who do know me to the world, you know, with the skits and just showing people how talented that I really am, because that's really all I'm about, is just the talent and the art.
Now, are we going to hear the bars as well as some R&B?
You're gonna hear everything.
Mm.
You're gonna
So,
hear everything. All of that.
I mean, I don't know how you give it up. Could you give us some R&B vocals real quick, or we have to get that another time? Let me
I'm
know.
gonna get that to y'all another time. Like but I got you though, I promise.
Nah, it's all good. It's all good. Nah, we family. So whenever you ready, I want you to hit us with those R&B vocals and then hit us with the bars. You know what I'm saying? Hit them with a combo real quick.
I
You know?
got you.
So look, I know you got things to do. We all got things to do. This was epic. This is gonna be one of many. We're gonna get on camera and really do it up. I appreciate you. You know what I mean? Just reaching out and even tapping in with me to do this. And love is love, Ja. You know, you got my direct number. You always got my platform. And, you know, man, look, I want you to win. Win big, please.
Thank you.
Crush
I appreciate that. I need your
it.
prayers and support
I
too.
got
I need everybody
you. Got
prayers and
you.
support. Thank
I
you.
got you. You're welcome.
And I want you to win big too, Rec.
Thank you. Thank you. Nah, I mean, you just tapping in with me with your energy. I love your energy. It's we winning already because your energy is genuine. Like I tell people, I don't even need nothing from people. Just know that you got my best interest and I got yours. That's the win. That's what people don't understand.
So then we already won then.
Yeah, we already won. We
So
already won. So on that note, you have a blessed day. And yo, I'm gonna hit you just to hit you. Like, yo, you up? You
you
good?
got my number? Just keep
Yeah.
in contact always.
I'm gonna hit you like, yo, what's up? You good? You need anything? You feel me?
I
Just come.
appreciate that. You got my number. I got yours. I'll hit you too. Like, God bless King. What's
God
good?
bless.
Yeah.
King. All right, no doubt. Yo, Moonshine, salute. I don't know if you want to tap in, but listen, love is love. Your family's my family. So Ja, enjoy your day and we gonna build.
Yo, big shout out to MRecktv. This your boy Christopher Williams, and I have some exciting news for you. MRecktv, we're presenting Ladies Night Out. That's like Friday, January 31st. That's right, Ladies Night Out at the La Familia Soundstage in Baltimore, Maryland. This is a night you don't want to miss. It's going to be some amazing female performance, comedy, music, and your boy C-Dub will be there performing live. It's going to be an amazing event. Tickets are going fast. Like I said, January 31st, Friday, 2025, Baltimore, Maryland, La Familia Soundstage. Great words of my brother, Big Daddy Kane. Don't meet me there, beat me there. It's going to be a great night. Peace. Bless.
Make sure you get your tickets now on eventbrite.com. Ladies Night Out. We need all the ladies to pop out. It's going to be a night of fun, laughter, and entertainment. We got comedians and singers such as Erica Nicole Clark, Ray Diva, and R&B vocalist Gina Rose, and more. It's going down at the La Familia Soundstage in Baltimore, Maryland. Make sure you get your tickets now on eventbrite.com. We also got DJ Moschino killing it on the ones and twos, plus a special performance by M.Reck. Doors open at 8 p.m.
Ladies Night, sponsored by Shantae Stanley at Inshore with Shantae. Peace.
Forbidden Secrets.
How you planning for Friday? Hey.
Hey, baby.
Mwah. Toast to you, my dear friend.
A blue chinchilla drag across the floors. Her nigga been in love, but she like me more. You ain't from around here. Just passing through.
Is that right? Well, maybe I could show you how us Gary girls get down.
Thought you said this was the hood, not a war zone.
You see that? That's the demon house niggas out here been talking about. Y'all know the M.Reck room etiquette. Peace. You now tuned in to MRecktv.
What if someone wasn't on protocol?
There are consequences.
MRecktv.